The Golden State Killer, the full story of Joseph James DeAngelo. The case of the Golden State Killer, GSK, is one of the most chilling in American criminal history. It's a story that spans over a decade of terror, a 40-year mystery, and a groundbreaking resolution that changed forensic science forever. The narrative is divided into 3 acts: the crimes, the cold case, and the capture. The Reign of Terror, 1973-1986. Joseph DeAngelo's crime spree evolved, leading investigators to initially believe they were hunting 3 different criminals. The Visalia Ransacker, 1974-1975. Before the GSK, a burglar terrorized the town of Visalia, California. His method was unique. He would break into homes, steal specific, often trivial items like single earrings or photographs, and meticulously rearrange the contents, creating bizarre scenes. He was dubbed the Visalia Ransacker. Method: predominantly burglary with a fetishistic signature. Escalation. On December 10, 1975, he was confronted by Detective Bill McGowan. The ransacker shot McGowan, who survived and fled. This act of violence against an officer signaled a dangerous escalation. The ransacker crime stopped shortly after. The East Area Rapist, EAR, 1976-1979, DeAngelo then began operating in the eastern suburbs of Sacramento County. Signature: his attacks were meticulously planned and brutally violent. He would stalk victims for hours, even days, learning their routines. He often entered by prying a window or door open with a tool to avoid making noise. Modus operandi, MO. He would ambush couples or single women at night, shining a flashlight in their faces. He would bind the male victim with intricate knots and pile dishes on his back, threatening to kill everyone if he heard the plates rattle. He would then rape the female victim, often for hours, all while maintaining control through whispered threats and violent outbursts. He frequently stole souvenirs, jewelry, identification, and coins. Psychological terror. He was known for making disturbing phone calls to victims both before and after the attacks, sometimes crying uncontrollably or pretending to be a disturbed Vietnam vet. His ability to evade capture was uncanny. The original Night Stalker, ONS, 1979 to 1986. After moving Southern California, his violence escalated to murder. For years, these murders were not connected to the EAR attacks. The murders. He began attacking and murdering couples in their homes in communities like Goleta, Ventura, Orange County, and Dana Point. The attacks were even more brutal, involving bludgeoning and ligature strangulation. Notable victims include Dr. Robert Offerman and Debbie Manning in Goleta, and Lyman and Charlene Smith in Ventura, the case that inspired writer Michelle McNamara's interest. The Gone Forever Call. After the murder of Janelle Cruz in Irvine in 1986, his last known crime, he called a victim from years earlier and whispered, "Remember when we played?" followed by a maniacal laugh and the words, "Gone, gone forever." The crime suddenly stopped. The perpetrator vanished, leaving behind a trail of over 50 rapes and 13 murders, countless burglaries, and a region living in fear. The 40-year cold case. For decades, the case grew cold but was never forgotten. Dedicated investigators and amateur sleuths. A small group of detectives and a passionate community of online sleuths, particularly on a forum called the EAR ONS Pro Boards, kept the case alive. They shared evidence, built timelines, and theorized endlessly. Michelle McNamara, the true crime writer, dedicated years of her life to investigating the case. Her book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, published posthumously in 2018, brought the story to a massive new audience and created immense public pressure to solve it. The title was hauntingly prophetic. The Breakthrough Link. Advances in DNA technology finally proved what a few investigators had long suspected. The Visalia Ransacker, the East Area Rapist, and the original Night Stalker were all the same person. The Capture, 2018. The breakthrough came not from a traditional lead but from a revolutionary genetic technique, genetic genealogy. Investigators from the Contra Costa District Attorney's Office, working with a company called Parabon Nanolabs, took the unknown suspect's DNA collected from a crime scene and uploaded it to a public genetic genealogy website, GEDmatch. The family tree. The DNA did not match anyone in law enforcement databases, but it did match distant relatives, third and fourth cousins, who had also uploaded their DNA. Using this data, genealogists built a massive family tree, narrowing it down. Through painstaking traditional police work, they followed the branches of the family tree, eliminating candidates based on age, location, and other factors. They eventually zeroed in on Joseph James DeAngelo. The proof. To confirm, investigators conducted surreptitious surveillance. They collected DNA from a car door handle and a discarded tissue DeAngelo left in his trash can. The DNA was a perfect match. The arrest. On April 24, 2018, in a quiet suburb of Sacramento, 72-year-old Joseph DeAngelo, a former police officer and grandfather, was arrested and charged with a litany of crimes. The monster had a name and a face. The man behind the monster. Who was Joseph DeAngelo? Background: born in 1945. His childhood was marked by trauma, including witnessing the sexual assault of his 7-year-old sister and finding his younger brother dead after a tragic accident. Military and law enforcement. He served in the Navy during the Vietnam War on the USS Canaan as a damage controlman. After his discharge, he became a police officer in 2 California towns, Exeter, near Visalia, and Auburn, in the East Area Rapist territory. He was fired from the Auburn Police Department in 1979 for shoplifting a can of dog repellent and a hammer, tools eerily similar to those used in his attacks. The double life. After being fired, he moved to Southern California, worked as a truck mechanic for a Save Mart supermarket, and raised a family. Neighbors described him as a grumpy, intimidating, but otherwise unremarkable old man. He lived for decades just miles from where his horrific crimes occurred. Justice and aftermath. The trial. Due to his age and the COVID-19 pandemic, the trial was expedited. In June 2020, DeAngelo pleaded guilty to 13 counts of first-degree murder and 13 rape-related charges in a deal to avoid the death penalty. He also admitted to dozens of other uncharged crimes. The sentencing. During a multi-day sentencing hearing, dozens of victims and family members delivered powerful impact statements directly to DeAngelo, who sat motionless in his wheelchair. On August 21, 2020, he was sentenced to multiple consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. The legacy. The capture of Joseph DeAngelo revolutionized criminal investigations. Genetic genealogy is now a standard tool used by law enforcement across the globe to solve cold cases and identify John and Jane Does, leading to hundreds of arrests. The case stands as a testament to the relentless pursuit of justice by victims, detectives, and citizen sleuths, and a stark reminder that some monsters hide in plain sight.